Christmas lights, see them shine in the eyes of a child. Let them shine. I used to be one of them, Christmas tree in the sand. Let them shine. As I fell for your spell, Christmas spell, like a symphony through the air. Christmas flare floats a simple melody. Merry Christmas. Can you feel it? If you feel it, then sing with me. I wish you Merry Christmas. May all your dreams come true. And I hear choir singing, bells ringing by the Christmas tree. And I wonder if you could make my dreams come true and spend it here with me. Angels fly, night sky, magic lights in our heart, light a spark.
Welcome everyone to another episode of AndersMill Knits and to 2020. This is January 1st, 2020 and I am your host, Emily, and you can find me on Instagram as aka Millie907 and on Ravelry as aka Millie. We also have a Ravelry group. We've got a couple of them actually. For the podcast, we've got a Ravelry group by the wonderful name of AndersMill Knits. And for a lot of our knit-alongs and other big extravaganza things such as our 24 Days of Cheer exchanges or what do we call them? Swaps. That's what we call them. We have the group aptly named 24 Days of Cheer, in which Stephanie Hot Pink Socks and I are moderators, and I have news on that front. So Stephanie came up with a great idea that we would, or mainly she, I'm just along for the ride. Who are we kidding? Put out another knit along, like KAL or CAL, because now you can do those things, with 12 months of gift knitting. And the focus is on sock knitting because socks take an extraordinary amount of time to knit, and they, at least in my circle of friends and family, they are the most prized presents for birthdays and Christmas and any other events that gift giving would come up with. In fact, you'll see later on in this video that I gave my fella his first pair of socks, hand knit socks, and I'm not even sure if he's taken them off yet, and it's been a week since Christmas. So you know, they go over really well. So she came up with this idea that we would have 12 months to prepare ourselves for the holidays. And so starting in January, i.e. starting today, we are highlighting one designer per month. And I know the name. I will put it down here. You know I'm terrible with names and particulars of things. That's probably why you love me, because I'm so absent-minded. But we are Grace Lundwool, something like that. Yeah. She is our designer of the month for January, and we have all the details of these things both on my Instagram of aka Millie907 and on Stephanie's Instagram, which has Hot Pink Socks reviews, as well as detailed information about the knit along and crochet along. That's why I said earlier CAL, because these days I haven't done it, but I'm told that crochet socks are kind of getting a ramp up of popularity. I can't see the appeal. I have actually begun to come around to crochet. However, in essence, crochet is knots. You're making knots. And I don't see how that would be very comfortable to have on your feet, to be walking on. But hey, to each his own. It might be very therapeutic, you know, your own foot massage. So anyway, you can knit or crochet socks this whole year round. I do hope that we will have some incentives, i.e. prizes. We haven't gotten to that part yet. And if we do, I do believe that should be my end of things, not Stephanie's. She's handling everything else, so why shouldn't I handle that? I think it's only fair. So maybe I'll raid my stash, and maybe every 2 months we'll have a... Yeah, actually this is just sounding really good. So yeah, every 2 months we'll have a giveaway for some sock yarn. And more than likely, if it's from my stash, I'll probably be giving away some superwash wool because I gotta get my finger out there. Or number one, it is the easiest care of wool for gift giving. And B, I am actually trying to cut down very extensively on my superwash wool for all knitting. And that is proving very difficult because every single amazing dyer out there seems to only dye sock yarn in superwash wool, and it's just driving me bippy. But I am determined to stay clear of that, and I went into my reasons for that last episode, so we're not going to do that. So there is that, and then we also have some more surprises on the horizon, so be keeping your nose to the ground, your ear out, and listening. I don't know all these euphemisms. Just be aware that there are lots of things in the works, okay? Today I am being very fancy. I have here some Royal Dalton china that my sister Amy gave me for Christmas. No, I'm sorry, it's Royal Albert. Royal Albert. My sister Amy and I collect plates. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those things. Well, we collect china, period. We're not one of those people that necessarily need, well, I've never wanted a whole set of china. Never wanted that. It's never been appealing to me. I'm very eclectic. I just really like the randomness of everything. And so for Christmas, Amy, knowing me, she gave me this beautiful cup and saucer for Christmas. And as a result, since it is the first day of of the new year, I'm drinking my bubbly, my version of bubbly, which is sparkling apple cider. In it, I've got some water on the side. Don't worry, guys. I can water it down, you know. Diabetic can't go overboard here. And I am just enjoying it. It is absolutely, hands down, my favorite drink of all time. And yes, that is including my beloved Mountain Dew that I gave up. And yes, I do know that most of you think that's disgusting. But you know what? To each his own. You know, I don't like Coca-Cola. Just don't like it. You're going to think this is ridiculously funny and ironic, but I think Coca-Cola is too sweet. I just said that. And I'm sitting here drinking an extremely sugary drink, and my favorite drink of all time is very sugary. Whatever. Like, just go with it, guys. You just can't understand this. There's no point in trying. Anyway, I'm a little goofy. I haven't had too much sleep. I stayed up very late journaling. I was able to take the time last night. I did go over to a friend's house in a blizzard to pick up a very special package. And I say special because I need it. I say I need it. But we had a blizzard last night here in Kenai, and it was pretty helter-skelter. It wasn't so much the snow that was causing it to be really kind of nerve-wracking, but the wind combined with the snow. Man, it stung your face. Oh my gosh. And it was very hard to see a lot of times. My car has all-season tires on it. I've only gotten stuck once this winter. And technically I think that was my fault. But, Bubba, no barking. But I did go over to my friend's house last night to get a package because I was just too impatient. Now that I have the package, I can't put it together. I got myself a signal booster antenna for my cell phone signal. I can't make head nor tails of it. So, but anyway, that was the only reason I went out last night. Pretty much everybody else in Kenai, I think I know of one party that went on, but pretty much everybody just stayed indoors. Did I say you could bark? Huh? Yeah, you're gonna stop, aren't you? Jeez, how rude. He doesn't care. So, Watson and I had an easy evening in. I don't know what happened, but the blizzard has like cleared up a bunch of stuff in the fact that I was able to have cell signal last night inside my cabin, which I normally don't. I watched Hulu for like 4 hours. And then I went and journaled for another couple hours. And everybody around me outside was putting off fireworks and things like that. And my dog was just snoring away. He just didn't give a lick. And I was getting text messages from my other friends who have dogs. And they're like, my dog's having a really hard time with it. And I'm like, not my dog. He's a nervous Nelly on everything except the actual stuff that I could see him being nervous about, i.e., fireworks, intruders, and, well, no, intruders I think he would kill, but earthquakes. You know, the normal stuff that dogs are usually scared of and bark a lot at. Watson just doesn't care. A leaf blowing across the front porch, that'll set him off into a barking fit. Earthquake, 3.7 on the Richter scale, he'll just like snuffle his nose and go back to sleep. He's an interesting fella. But I love him. He's my grumpy old man. Man, that stuff's good. It's even more special when you drink it out of a special cup, don't you think? Give it a shot sometime. You deserve it. I may just drink that entire bottle throughout the day. We shall see. I need to put it down though because we have many a project to talk about today. Well, not many a project. I do have quite a few finished objects. So why don't we get into that? I'm supposed to be telling you life in review, but I guess I kind of just blabbered on. So I think we'll leave it at that because Christmas was good. I got lots of presents, lots of handmade gifts from my nieces. My parents gave me an Instapot. And my love gave me a portable heater because I'm always cold down here right now. My cabin is very drafty. And so he's been worried about me. So, that was very loving of him. And then he gave me a portable, I don't know what you call it. Is it a portable DVD player? You know those kinds that clamp open and you have the screen right here and you can watch the DVD? Because there's no place for me to put a TV here. Literally not a single area you could do that I could think of. And I don't really want a TV, to be honest. And neither does he down here. So he gave me a portable DVD player so I could watch some DVDs. Only he forgot to pack in the charger so that I could watch said DVDs. So I have a beautiful DVD player, but no way to watch it. I just think that's great. Oh well. Anywho, so moving on to finished objects. Well, the only one that I have with me right now is a finished hat. Let's see if you guys can see it. Oh, there we go. I think, mind you, this is the waffle hat. But I cannot find my copy of the hat pattern. I cannot find it in my Ravelry library. I obviously was going off of said pattern to be able to knit this. I have no idea where it disappeared to. I know it's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I was knitting this. Oh, and it was a fun knit too. I was knitting this for my beloved. However, when I gave it to him, it looked atrocious. I mean, hands down, but ugly on him. However, it looks really good on me. So, guess who got to keep it? Don't worry, I have a hat in progress for him. Well, okay, not technically in progress because I haven't cast it on, but I'm supposed to cast it on tonight, so, you know, we'll give that a shot. And I'll show that to you later. Oh! And I just lied. I have other finished objects with me, too. So, I'm sure most of you have heard of the pattern Needled by Hunter Hammerson. It's very popular for the Christmas season, and I decided that I would attempt to make 18 of them for every person in my department at work. I failed. Like, miserably. However, I did get some done. I got all 18 of them knitted. 2 of them haven't been stuffed, and only a handful of them have been finished, and I just want to say that they are quirky. We have a so I've put in the I've sewn in the ends, but I just haven't clipped them off. We have here in Alaska what is called a swamp spruce, and I have determined that these are not Christmas trees, and swamp spruces are just unfortunate trees. They are unfortunate trees, and so are these guys. They're cute, but you know, only a mother could love them. I mean, look what come on now, that's a snowman. And then I've got, let's see, 3 others done. Is it? Yeah, 3 others done. So I completed a total of 6. I should have cut off the ends. And all of them, none of them are the same, because all of them I used stash. And some of them I can't even tell you what stash I used. But most of it was fingering weight, and it was scraps and what have you all around. I finished 6 of them, so that means I have 12 to finish up. And I'll show you the rest of them, or I'll at least hold up my tray of them in works in progress in a minute. But, you know, they were actually really fun to knit on. And I got, you know, I have the pattern, the chart here, so am I covering it up? Yeah. And then I just literally, I put everybody's names down, and I used a check marking system, and I was just trying really hard to get them all done. I did knit all 18. Some traumatic things happened at work. I became pretty overwrought with it, emotional, disillusioned. I felt like my trust had been broken. It was really, really, really tough. I almost quit, honestly, but I persevered. But that also meant that I didn't finish the trees because my heart wasn't in it. But this is what they're supposed to look like. Look how cute those are. Seriously. It's like, this one even have beads on it. Like, okay, so look at that. And then let's see which one you can probably see best. Look at those. And then look at mine. I'm sorry. It just... Sometimes I crack myself up. I try, but you know what? I'm not as meticulous as I think it takes to do this. I'm just not as meticulous. I became very, very impatient with the whole cutting out the plastic rings to put for the different areas, and the whole stuffing of it and finishing is so nitpicky, and I just was so not enjoying it. I enjoyed the knitting of it. Finishing is just not my favorite thing, you know? So I didn't get that done, but I did give it my 1-2, you know, good old girl try. So those are the finished objects that I have with me. So one of the finished objects that I don't have with me is this, Jeremy's dinosaur, that I'm quite proud of. I crocheted him this dinosaur out of some just acrylic yarn that I got. Aha! Here it is. Just some acrylic yarn that I got from Joann's because I wanted him to be able to rumble around with it. So it's Impeccable Yarns in the pumpkin colorway, and it is, I believe, 100% acrylic. I don't know why all of a sudden. Oh, you can knit apparently this poncho, which is the colorway Eggplant. But this is machine wash warm, permanent press setting, and then yeah, I'm not even seeing pattern includes. Ah, there it is, 100% acrylic. You really wanted to wait for that, didn't you? So here's my leftovers, about at least a little under half of a skein left. No idea what I'm going to do with it because I don't particularly want to knit something that he'll wear out of it. Amigurumi stuff is great for this kind of stuff, but just, you know, for the more next to skin things, I just don't, no, I just don't want to do it. So I knit that for him. That went off like gangbusters. He loved it. I think I did an absolutely wonderful job at it. I was quite surprised at it because, again, as we were just discussing, I am not the queen of finishing, and yet this had a lot of finishing things to it. Some of the things that I added into this pattern that wasn't detailed out in the pattern was I wanted this to be able to stand up on its own. So on the feet that are little cups on the bottom of the dinosaur, I added in some beans. And then also on the bottom of his belly, of the belly of the beast, if you will, I added in some beans along with some stuffing and things like that. So Jeremy absolutely loves it. I'm quite proud of myself. I would knit this again. It was quite intuitive. The designer put down that it was an advanced crochet, I believed, crochet pattern. And I did not, and I'm not an advanced crocheter, but I found that I was able to knit this, Timothy the T-Rex, and I was able to knit this quite well. So let's see, this is by Kelsey Liggett, Liggett, and she says this pattern is recommended for intermediate skill level or above. I am definitely not in that camp. I think one of the things that helped me was that, can you guys see the stripes on here? They're very subtle. I didn't do the striping on my T-Rex for Jeremy. He just is one solid color. And it's, from reading the pattern, I can see how that would be pretty difficult to not have jogs with those stripes. She goes over it in quite a lot of detail. She holds your hand through it. And so I think that if you really were gung-ho, you could do it. I just didn't, first off, I didn't read the pattern, so I didn't, I needed 2 colors. And the only 2 colors I had was that orange and a navy blue, and I was like, ooh, I don't think I like that way that will stripe up. So I didn't do the stripes. So, but also I did have to look on YouTube a couple times to help me with a specific stitch pattern, like helping me with crocheting in the round a little bit, because I was finding that I was having a difficult time finding the beginning of the round. And so just some little tips of putting in a stitch locking marker with where the beginning of the round would be, or the end of round, whatever you want to call it. That helped so much, especially with being able to count how many stitches I had around. And then, I just took my time to really pay attention to make sure that each time I went around, I stopped and then I counted my stitches to make sure that I still had the same amount of stitches as she wrote about in the pattern. And that worked out for me because there's a lot of shaping that goes on. There was also quite a few little finicky, I think that's the word? Little pieces like the arms and the legs and the tail. So all those pieces had to be crocheted up as well and then pieced on later. So there you go. There's Jeremy's T-Rex. The next thing that I knit for him for Christmas, which was a stocking stuffer, was his socks. And I knit those out of one of my all-time favorite sock yarn companies, Online Sock Yarn. I love the patterning they do. I love the way this yarn is sturdy and yet next to skin soft enough. It's not super wash wool. It's not smooth. It's hardy wool. This is from a German company, I believe. I think. I've always thought it was a German company. But it has 75% wool, virgin wool, and 25% polyamide. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce the colorway. I tried to do that last time. If you can see it, it's right under the picture there. But I'm not going to try and butcher it again. I have enough left over for both of these, and I asked Jeremy, would you like me to knit you some fingerless mitts with the leftovers? And he said, yes, please. After, of course, I explained to him what in the world fingerless mittens were. But once I did and explained how amazing they are for driving and being able to still utilize your fingers well, he was like really excited about that idea. So one thing I noticed, oh, by the way, here's the picture if I haven't already put it on here. One thing I noticed is that even with the sock that I stole from him, I did knit his socks a little long, and a little too loose. I think I didn't need to do the ribbing on the top. It's a nice detail though. I don't think he needed that extra give. So, but this is the first time I've knit for him. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself and so excited about this that I'm jumbling up my words. But the legs fit him perfectly. They were the right length for him. He loved them. He loves the, what did I do for the heel flap? I did a beautiful heel flap pattern that I know everybody's probably screaming at me because it's the one most people use. Oh well. But I did that and he likes that. It's really comfy. He immediately put them on Christmas morning. He was pretty darn sick Christmas morning. He came down with a cold during the night. And he was just kind of miserable. But he still says it was his favorite Christmas as an adult. So there you go. He loves the colorway. Those are his colors. He's just this like a happy camper. And so I also got him slippers and some comfy pajama bottoms. I got him a robe, but his shoulders are too wide and his arms are too long, for the robe. So we have to take that back because the theme this year was comfort. He loves to be like lounge around the house when he doesn't have anything else to do and actually just relax. And I was noticing in the last few months that he's not properly equipped to do that, So, when he lounges around, he's still wearing his jeans. And I'm like, why would you want to wear jeans when you're lounging on a couch? You want to wear a pair of pants that, has elastic that you can eat a whole bag of chips and be all bloated and still know that your pants will fit you, right? At least that's what I think. So he really appreciated the slippers, the socks, the pajama bottoms. He loved the robe. It just didn't fit him. This looks so cute. He looked like he was like a little man wearing his dad's robe. But that's what he gets for having broad shoulders. Darn. So I knit those two things for him, or no, I crocheted one and knit the other. And I attempted to knit him a hat. It just didn't go over well. The next one will. The last finished object I have is the railroad ties. I think that's what it's called. Hold on, let me see. Railroad track scarf by Kay Smith at Far North Yarn Company. It's a free pattern that she has in store. I don't know if she's published it online, but it's wonderful. I knit this up for my bestie Kurt, and he really enjoyed it. Like I said, he has this old felted scarf that he's been wearing around for years, and there you go. So he was a little embarrassed by receiving it, but at the same time he was quite grateful, and I'm hoping he's getting good wear out of it as well. And so those were my finished objects for Christmas. This year was kind of interesting. I didn't knit anything for family. I did cast on something for my mom for her birthday, which was the 28th of December. Didn't get it done, but I did cast it on, and I showed it to her and she loves it. But I don't know. This year I concentrated on, trying to thank a few key people in my life that were very instrumental in this past year, and I just felt like it'd be nice to get some things done for them. At the same token, also, I took on more than I could chew. I did a couple test knits, one of which I did not finish on time, and that really bit into my gift knitting. That's one of the reasons why I'm really looking forward to this year-long gift knitting socks, of socks that Stephanie proposed, because I don't know about you guys, but I became very anxious towards the end, nearing Christmas Day. I didn't have Kurt's scarf done. I didn't have Jeremy's hat done. And I didn't have any of those Christmas trees done. And I just was getting really anxious that, and to tell you the truth, I honestly was starting to feel like I wasn't good enough. Like there was something wrong with me that I wasn't able to provide that, And I know that's within me, because we are not required to knit things for our loved ones and friends. It's nice to do that. It's nice to be able to have that skill to do that. It's not required of us. And yet there is this expectation that you will do that for them. And I want to be able to have it as an enjoyable act to be able to knit for my family and friends. And when I become anxious about knitting these things, I become resentful of the item that I am knitting, and I tend to put it away and not knit on it. And then the anxiety rises more, and so it's a perpetuating process within my head. It's also an irrational belief that I have to knit and craft homemade things for my loved ones. It's a perk, but it's an irrational belief, and I'm coming to terms with it. It doesn't mean that I'm going to stop doing it, however. I am just going to try and be more aware and pre-plan things better so that I don't have that pressure and that anxiety around those things. Maybe we can help each other with this. I'm spitballing. You know how I do things. I just kind of, put it out there into the universe. Sometimes I put my foot into it, sometimes I don't. But I think there's quite a few of us out there, if not the majority, that feel like I do. And it's sad. I don't want to feel that way about what brings me joy, what is my release and my relaxation, my self-care time. Whether I'm listening to an audiobook or a podcast, or I get cell signal and I can watch Hulu, or if I'm just sitting and cuddling with Watson and knitting, or if I steal a few moments in the car or at work on a break, which I never seem to get, but we won't go there. Or, just in any way, knitting is zen. Knitting is a release. And when you have that pressure on yourself, it no longer becomes an act of joy. It becomes an act of servitude. And I refuse, honestly, to live my life that way. So I am going to acknowledge in this moment that I have been feeling pressure placed upon myself. So I acknowledge that I place pressure upon myself to perform and to provide hand-knit, handcrafted items to my loved ones for each occasion that a gift is encouraged. I accept that I have struggled with this And I also make a goal and a resolution to move through this, not past it, but through this, work with myself when I start to feel that way, reflect upon why I'm feeling that way, and like generally thinking like maybe there's a thought in my head of I have to provide something spectacular to them to prove that I'm worthy of love. That is that it's not a legitimate claim, but it is a legitimate worry that I have. It's also another irrational belief. Don't you just love how all of a sudden I'm just using, it's like I'm in a therapy session with myself right now, because these are all words and things and techniques that I use with my clients. Oh boy. Yeah. But I do that with myself too, you can't just work with other people about these things. You have to apply them to yourself as well. So, anyway, so I'd like to know your guys' feedback. So comment below if you would. Also, tell people to subscribe. I'm just saying. And comment below. Let's have a conversation about it. I've been really enjoying. I've made a couple new contacts through the last episode that have been really a joy to have made and to converse with. Some people in Canada, and and reconnecting with some of my other friends. One's in Russia, one's in, I think, Peru. Do I have that right? No, yeah, Peru. And one's in India. It's just, you guys are just so wonderful. I've been really enjoying that. So comment below about what your thoughts are about this whole pressure thing, about gift knitting. Anywho, so those are the things that I have finished. I did cast on a project, and I did what I said I was going to do. I decided to try and use Mina Phillips, the Knitting Expats 2 socks at a time tutorial that she has on YouTube. I love Mina. She is the most genuine and sweet. Like, you know that you're getting the real her. Does that make sense? When on her podcast, and oh my gosh, she's coming out. I have to check. On one of her Blogmas episodes, she talked about a new sweater design that she's been working on that I was drooling over. I not only want to knit the actual sweater, but I want desperately to knit it in the same exact yarn as hers. So whenever she comes out with it, I'm totally like gorging on that. But anyway, okay. So she has really been very open and free with her knowledge. She's a very experienced knitter, a very good designer. I've knit quite a few of her sock patterns, her New York sock series, or I think that's what it's called, something like that. I love those. They're simple and yet enjoyable to knit, because I am not one of those people that really enjoys a really detailed sock pattern, because socks are one of my relaxed knitting, and that I have low expectations on myself, if that makes sense. So here's my 2 at a time socks that I'm knitting for my mom. So I did about 2.5 inches, I think, of ribbing, of 1x1 rib, and then I put them together on a needle. I'm not really enjoying this needle, but it's working for now. And I just started going to town on knitting the leg. Now I stopped at this point to show my mom, because my mom also, she's like me in that we do like tall socks, but we also like ankle socks, especially when I'm exercising and stuff. So I wanted to know which she would prefer. And she said, you know what, I really just love the tall socks that you knit. And it was so cute. So it was her birthday, and she was lounging on her favorite spot on her couch, and I looked down and she was wearing a pair of socks that I made for her either Mother's Day or her birthday within the last few years, and it just made me so happy. So luckily I didn't have to go and divide one skein into 2 skeins, because these skeins came in a shorter skeins, if that makes sense, and it was 2 of them. So these are Plymouth Yarn Company Happy Feet, 90% superwash and wool and 10% nylon, and there are 192 yards per skein. So I had those. Mom pre-picked this out. I got this from Far North Yarn Company, who knows how long ago, but Mom picked this out at least a year ago. I have a whole basket here. I'll grab it really quick. I have a whole basket of yarn that my mom has picked out that she would like me to knit her things out of. So, you know, she's picked out all of these and this one. This is one of the Mondim colorways. So she really likes these. Red, I'm not surprised about. This is, and let me just say that I really want to knit with this one because it's Moon Rover yarn, and I love Moon Rover yarn. It's so plump and scrumptious. And so I think that this is going to be the next thing I knit something on her for. I was thinking maybe a cowl. Possibly even the snuggle is real, because yes, I did fall down that rabbit hole and buy that pattern because I think it's cool. I don't particularly like the name of the pattern, which is so stupid to complain about, but it's the truth. I don't like the name of it. But I think I should have some water next. So I cast those on for Mom. The same day, i.e. Mom's birthday, I also cast on and finished a convertible glove. These are the Tinsel Mitts by Mawery. And I absolutely love it. I knit them out of chickadee fiber. And the top portion, the convertible portion, I knit it to her specs. Maybe I need to block it a little bit, but it is a little short, probably because of my acrylic nail lengths. I think without them, that it would be a perfect length. And I just love it. So sorry, I have to get it on correctly. It just feels like when I pull it down, like things are, because see, I feel like I have to pull it down to get my thumb out. And then, but then if I pull it down, see, look, my nail's sticking out right there. Oh boy. So I was thinking I might have to undo this top portion here and give it a little bit of length. I'm not opposed to doing that. It's no big deal. I have woven in the ends and everything, but I'm totally fine with it. It's got this beautiful little detail. The yarn is a really fun yarn from Chickadee Fiber Arts. Is that the name of it? Yeah, Chickadee Fiber Arts in the Pella Rose Finch colorway. I got this along with two other skeins that I'll show you. It's DK 100% Merino. Notice it's not superwash. Score. So I do know I can go to her for non-superwash. At least with DK. I haven't checked her fingering weight yet. But I really wanted to get some DK stuff, you know? So I cast this on my mother's birthday. The thumb gusset is very different from how I usually do my thumb gussets for my mittens, and I'm not so sure that I like her style. It feels a little clunky. I kind of like my style better. However, I'm going to stick with it. And, you know, maybe it's just that I need to get used to it. And it could also be the fact that this is the first DK pair of mittens that I'm finishing. Not that I've knit, that I'm finishing. Every other mittens or fingerless mitts that I've knit have been fingering weight. And so you're going to do your increases differently with fingering weight than you do with DK. You need to, so, you know, I think that might be my thing. And also, I kind of had thought that this one would fit on, see, I just feel like it fits better on this hand. I don't know why. I just feel like, but then see, the convertible mitts are on backwards. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, it'll all be good. So not only did I finish that one, but I cast on for the second one and have gotten the cuff done, and like three rows of the mitten itself. And here's my skein, which is kind of worse for wear because one of my nephew Jordan, he loves my yarn. Oh, look, there's a needle stuck in there. Interesting. My nephew Jordan loves my yarn, and so whenever he sees me knitting, he likes to pick up my yarn and he wants to knit with me, you know, and things like that. And he doesn't understand why he can't actually knit yet because he's only 2. So it was so cute. He kept grabbing my yarn and walking across the living room to show his mom, so my little sister. And Kelsey was just like appalled. She's like, bring that back to her right now. It was so cute. Don't worry, Kelsey. He didn't ruin anything. And I can't say no to the handsome little devil. So here are my... Oh, I think that needs to go in here. There we go. Okay. So here are the last of my big tray of my messy tray of unfinished and a few finished. Oh, I have another one. So I have 3 that I have to still fill up of my Christmas trees. So here's a maroon one. I knit 2 pink ones and a hot pink one with speckles, if you guys can see those. I got this in the 24 Days of Cheer swap last year, and you know what, I didn't think I would like this colorway, but knit up, I actually really like it, especially the sparkles. Here's some other Moon Rover yarn. I knit my brother Zachary some fingerless mittens out of this a few years back, and I love this yarn. When I was knitting up that tree, I was just like, oh, I forgot how much I loved it. So there's that. There's all my needles, like, yeah, if you guys can tell. So what you do is you knit to a certain point, but you leave the needles in while you're blocking it and stuffing it and putting in the plastic layers to make the ridges on the trees. And then you finish it with the needle still in. So that's why this looks so messy. But I was really surprised at how many needles I have. And I'm just going to say I could have probably knit quite a few more Christmas trees and not had any problem running out of needles. I kind of have a fetish for needles. Is that a word? Does that apply? I don't know if that word applies to that. But that's all my works in progress. I'm toying with the idea, because I have so many projects on the go right now. This is just what I'm working on. I have a whole huge pile between these 2 chairs of things that I'm working on. I've got a whole shelf in my built-in over there that's just with works in progress. And if I had to guess, I'd probably say I have at least 30 projects on the go right now. So I've been toying with this idea of maybe refraining from casting on something new until I have finished 1 or 2 projects. Okay? So, but there's caveats to this, because there's 3 projects that I really wanted to cast on Christmas Day. I wanted to cast on a hat for my guy. And I wanted to cast on another hat for myself that I've been really wanting to knit from Kay Hopkins. And then I wanted to want to cast on, because I didn't get a chance to do my shawl kit from Jimmy Bean's Wool during Christmas, 24 Days of Christmas. I wanted to start that today. So there is that. However, I'm like, okay, I guess I can make an exception for those 3 things. and then that's it. So then, and every time I finish, or the other thing I could do is there are a couple pairs of socks that I'm really close to finishing. So what I could do is also say when I finish those socks, I could stick to my thing and say when I finish a pair of socks, I can cast on one of those hats. I can still cast on my shawl, but I have to wait to cast on the hats until I finish, because that applies to the rule. That could be a thing. Why not? I feel like I feel like I need to put down some boundaries for myself around knitting and really stick to them, you know? The other thing that's going on this year is the 2020 year of sweaters. So I'm participating in that, and I have quite a few unfinished sweaters as well. Lots of unfinished sweaters, so I really want to focus on getting those done and in my wardrobe, because right now is the time to be wearing them. I mean, have you seen out my window? We had a freaking blizzard last night, and I'm always cold in this cabin. Guess what would be awesome to have? Hand knit sweaters. I do have my weekender sweater. I absolutely love that sweater, but I do kind of feel like I'm sweltering in it a lot of times. So there is that. So I did want to show you guys a few things that were handmade by my nieces that I got for Christmas before I show you my acquisitions from Christmas and that kind of thing. So the first thing, my niece Miriam, she is a genius fiber artist, and she had made this gnome, and I was over at their house and I was a glutton, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna take that one home. And she's like, oh, okay, no problem. She's so generous, but he's so cute and jaunty. Look at his nose. And she gave him little what do they call them? Mutton chops on the side, if you can see it. His beard is braided. He doesn't stand up without aid, so I need to figure out how to fix that. But she did put in some wire into his hat thing here so that I can, you know, rearrange the that kind of thing. I love him. He just makes me so happy. And then for Christmas Day, I got these mushroom earrings that she made, felted. It's just amazing. So I wore those quite a few days in a row. I should have put them on today, but I absolutely love these. They make me very happy. And oh my gosh, so lightweight. I want to try and look into what else we could do with making felted earrings. This size, bigger and smaller, like miniature kind of things, you know? So there is those. And then when I was getting ready, I left my other ones on the counter. 1 second. Sorry, guys. My nieces are incredibly talented. So my one niece, Madeline, she stitched together a ice cream popsicle that's had a bite taken out of it in a wink. Isn't that just so cute? It's just so much fun. I was thinking about putting like a little piece of yarn all around that and hanging it from, say, my rear view mirror or something. I thought that would be really fun. And the colors are just, oh. And her stitch work is just amazing. She's doing so well. Can you see? 8-year-old did that. 8-year-old. And then my oldest niece, or one of my oldest nieces, Eden, she is quite the amazing artist. And she has been making me a series of, and most people in our family as well, art pieces. And this was what I got this year. And one of her pieces, the piece that I got for my birthday, which I did think I shared on, I think I shared it on here, is at my work, at my office desk. And to tell you the truth, I'm always nervous that somebody's going to take it because it is so beautiful. So this one I'm going to keep here. I'm going to put it on my wall. And so she is documenting all of her art pieces for a portfolio for college. And I'm very proud of her. I think she's got amazing talent. She did a piece for my mom. Wait, hold on. Was it for mom for her birthday, or was it for mom and dad for Christmas? I can't remember, but she made a winter scene for my mom and dad and what was so cute was she went to go put it on the mantle where some of her other pieces were displayed. And last year for Christmas, it was like it was like, okay, so you know how artists do a whole series, right? And so they'll do this one, and then they'll do like maybe a one that complements this one. That's exactly what she did without meaning to. She made another winter scene using like the same tones, and it just looked like they were meant to go together. And it was just so cute and beautiful. And I can't tell if she was a little flustered by that or not, but we all just thought it was amazing because, you know, who wouldn't want a series by someone we think has incredible talent and can go very far? So that was what I got from my girls. And then I also had the 24 days of cheer swap, and my swap partner was Phoenix Fire on Instagram, and I got spoiled, man. Some of my stitch markers I don't have with me, but she gave me all kinds of stitch markers just put in just randomly with different ones. These are paper stars, literally paper amigurumi stars. And I know that they're real because my niece Miriam, she makes these too. She has an art piece that she's made completely out of these. And so my niece was really excited to see these and to look at them. And I don't know if Phoenix Fire made these or not, but I love them. She gave me some quite useful, they came in very useful, I've used like 4 of them already, locking stitch markers. That was really great. And then she gave me some wintertime stitch markers. Let's see if I can't find them really quick. One of them is on my mitten because one of them was mittens. So I thought, you know what? That has to go on my mitten. It served no purpose. It served absolutely no purpose in this pattern. But my pattern need to be bejeweled. So, let's see here. I got a couple snowflakes from her. There you go. That was the back of them. There's the front. And then I got a candy cane. So I got 2 snowflakes, a candy cane, mittens, and I think that was it in that set. I'm pretty sure that was it in that set. I love them. They are so great. And then I put all of my... Oh, no. I forgot a pair. It got snuck down there. I was thinking that was not correct. And then she gave me some Mardi Gras, in my opinion, stitch markers. Or stitch markers slash... Well, no, those are stitch markers. Very sparkly. We've got some glasses, and then we've got a mask. Oh boy, I don't know if you guys are seeing all this. But I just love these. My nieces really loved those. So let's take out this, put that in there, this, and this. Okay, so here's all my minis. I think this is all of them. Yeah, this is all of them. All of my 24 minis that I got from her. So all put in there. And these are going to go in my crocheted scrappy blanket. I don't remember what it's called. I don't know if it's a granny square or what. But anyway, so these are all going to go into that. I'm very excited about that. In fact, an entire, like, I'm not even going to break these up, like integrate them into other sections. They're all going to be in one section of my blanket. So it'll just follow one right after another. And I think that'll be really fun. So there you go. All kinds of beautiful colors. I really loved it. And then on Christmas Day, I got a super fun big skein. This is called Old Splash. OSD Splash? Yeah. And it's from OJD Fiber. I've never heard of them, but I like it. It's got a gray base, very soft gray, with splashes of like neon green, and I wouldn't necessarily say neon orange, but brighter orange. Like it kind of goes with this. I'm just saying. It's good stuff. So I got that. I'm excited to cast that on. No idea what for. Let's see, what is it made of? Of course, 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. You know, when it's a gift, you can accept superwash. So I've got that. And then also for Christmas, I splurged and I ordered for myself the kit from the Sexy Knitter for Baby Yoda hat. And so it's really fun. So it came with the main color, which is a like such a dark navy blue that it's black, honestly. And it's coming up black for you guys too. And the two contrasting colors there to make the face. And then she made a shrinky dink stitch marker with, oh shoot, can I get it? With the little Yoda on it. I don't know if that's, I don't know if that's coming up well or not. Right on my nose. And I can't hold it still. Darn it. Sorry, guys. But it's cute. It's really cute. So I wanted to cast that on for my guy. This was not the today cast on, though. But he also, when I showed it to him, he's like, oh, I'm not really into Baby Yoda. And I'm like, of course you're not. I ordered this kit thinking you're going to be all excited about it, and you're like, Baby Yoda. Could take it or leave it. And then I ordered myself some more. Well, with the order that I got for my mittens, I had also ordered 2 skeins of her Loon colorway from Chickadee Fiber Arts, and I love this colorway. So I do know that I am going to knit the Snuggle is Real out of at least one of these skeins. If not, make my guy a matching one, like, because that's kind of what I had in mind. But he doesn't really like the splash of red. He likes everything else about this but the splash of red. Now this one here doesn't have as much red in it. So I was thinking I would make this one for me and this one for him. And we'd have the Struggle is Real, and then I would make the inside the Snuggle, not the Struggle. The inside would be different colors so we can know whose is whose. So we're at 60 minutes, so 1 hour, and I do think that that's all I do have for you guys today. Those were my acquisitions and all my knits in progress and finished objects and my shenanigans, as Amy Beth of the Fat Squirrel Speaks says. I had a marvelous time taking some time off to be with my family in Anchorage. It was really hard for me to come back to Kenai. I won't lie, I've been a little bit lonely down here and isolated, and there's a lot of factors that go into that. I'm not blaming anyone. This is the way things are right now. And I've been missing my people, you know, and so it was really nice to be there and to spend Christmas with them. And today I've got a couple friends coming over. They were so nice and picked up a cheap couch for me from Walmart. And they are bringing it over, and we are saying goodbye to my humongous chairs that take up all the space in my little tiny living room. So we are changing that out, and I'm pretty darn excited for that. So hopefully they'll be here within the next hour or two, and we can get that rolling, and maybe I'll have a little extra space in my place. That would be awesome. So remember, everybody, sorry, there was something else that came to mind that I really want to talk to you about, but I don't feel like it's the time to talk to you about it, so we're gonna wait, okay? But in the meantime, as I keep my secrets to myself, remember to knit what you love and love what you knit. Ta-ta for now. Journal writing, and Watson is sleeping while we listened to... Oh, there's he stretching. Lots of fireworks going off, but he doesn't give a lick. He's just sleeping.